Today I'm at the range. I'm going to be trying to shoot a few reloads that I've loaded up with a powder that I haven't used before. And I got some paper plates on the other end at 100 yards. And I had one extra paper plate for a test paper plate just to see basically where my first set of reloads were landing, to adjust my scope a little bit. And then I'm going to fire 5 rounds at each plate, take an average of 3 plates to come up with my average group. And what I got here is I got a 20-inch AR heavy barrel standard setup. It's got a Nikon 3x9 scope on it. Got it in a steady rest, and I got a little laundry bag set up next to it to catch my brass. And then I also happen to have a spotting scope to help me look down there, since 3x9 isn't too powerful of a scope. So let's shoot a few rounds and then we'll go pull our plates off and we'll see how we did. Well, I'm done shooting, and first was my test plate. I shot at it first. My first two rounds went down here, almost off the plate, so I adjusted my scope up 2 inches on the knob, and then I started shooting patterns. And this was 27.5 grains of one type of powder that I was using, and then over here was 28 grains of the same powder. And these two right here, definitely my best groups. This one was a little wild, not sure what happened there. And then this was another type of powder, faster burning, that burns. I got 21.5 grains of it, and I was shooting a 50 grain bullet. So I'm going to go ahead and pull these off, take them back home, use a measuring tape on them, see where they came out. I'm back from the range and I have the plates all set up and measured. There's 5 shots on each plate. I measured from center to center from the farthest 2 shots apart. And that one's 1.5 inches, this one's 2.375 inches, this one's 2.625 inches. Definitely this pattern here, this is one powder in this column, that was my worst one. And then over here, this was a different powder, 2 different grains. These were 28 grain and these were 27.5 grain. And then now to find out how to measure my accuracy, what I would do is I would take all 3 of these measurements, and you can take those 3 measurements, add them together, divide by 3, and that would say that's my average group, is 1.625. And on this one over here, my average group was 1.33 inches. It says, basically, it's saying that the 27.5 is my more accurate load. Now, on these over here, this 28 grain, that's a really good group. It's a pretty decent group. Now on this one, it was over 2 inches. I had this wild shot over here. And some people will take and they'll just discard the worst one and only average the rest. So if we just did that and just averaged the other, just the 2 plates, then this one would be 1.375 and this one would be 1.19. Still proves that the 27.5 grain of this powder that I was using was my most accurate. Over here, this powder was a lot fast burning powder, a lot less grains, at a 2.17 or a 1.94. Definitely not very good for that bullet. And that's how I test my accuracy of my reloads.